time is 11:05, September 5th, 2021. This is not a laughing matter. We came into an encounter with what we believe to be a cougar, or large cat that tried to hunt and kill us. Would you like to start off how that happened, McKay?
I will. So, we all got to Trailhead late. We didn't have service. So we got up there, started hiking after dark, probably when it was like 8:20-ish, 8:30. Started hiking. Hiked for probably like,
30 minutes.
yeah.
Good 30 minutes.
So we got in. We passed a group and they said there were 2 moose chilling around.
It's about 9.
Yeah, and so we're like, okay, there's some moose, so we're looking out for them. Later we're like, the moose really aren't there. And then we're walking down the segment of trail and I had the worst feeling that something was watching me. And my eyes shot to the side and I shone my flashlight over there and then there were just 2 yellow eyes, decently far apart, staring
Yeah, they were
right back
really
at me.
far apart. Like, I cannot stress that enough. It just shows like how big it was. Like it was so.
And it shows the cat too.
Yeah, and we were across from a
Little stream.
stream. So the trail went this way and it dipped down, went up again, and the cougar, or what we thought was at least some kind of cat at this time.
Big cat.
Yeah, big cat. Was at the same level as us, staring at us. So for the next 5-10 minutes, we were looking at these eyes, making sure that, yes, this was indeed a living creature, because it was blinking and moving. And it was staring at us for a very long time. So,
We decided to
Keep going for some fucking reason. Like,
but we were smart about it. We got the knives out. So I had
And
the
the
machete,
Yeah.
and I had 2 other knives. So we had Ethan had a knife, and Jackson had a knife, and I had the machete. And so we figured this thing should be smart enough to not come at us. So we started going around, and it was a switchback. So we looked at the map, and the trail literally went 20 more feet to the right, and then switched back right in front of where the cougar was.
oh.
So we went down to the switchback. I went in
There
front.
was a bridge on this part where the stream crossed, so it
Yeah.
lowered down to here, and the path went out here, lowered down to this lower place, and then up to where we were before.
And so we got on the bridge. I showed my light, and it was Kel and I up front, and we just saw the eyes
And the
going
part of the body.
back and forth because it was like crawling down the hill towards us, and part of the body you could see the shadow, and this thing was just slowly coming towards us, and then we kept seeing it blink. You could see it moving back and forth, like still moving towards
so
us. So we back up, throw a bunch of our stuff down, get ready to freaking fight this thing, and then sat there for probably like 5 minutes.
But how did
It
we lose
probably-
Lost track of it.
How did we
Yeah,
lose
no,
sight
at
of
this
it?
time,
Like,
this we were kind of losing track of time, just because we were all
Yeah.
Amped up.
We had lost the eyes.
especially Kellen and McKay, because they saw these giant shoulders of this cat beast coming towards them, being a shadow of a being, and that's it. That's
then
all
we-
they saw. They saw the eyes.
And then the worst thing about it is we lost it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
We had no idea, and it was so only down to our left was downhill, and everything else it would have had like an uphill advantage on us, and we had no idea where this thing was.
So we were looking everywhere, like even behind us. Like we had no idea what the hell.
and we had a formation on our way back.
Yeah.
We had 2 beam flashlights. He had a lantern, and I think somebody had a phone flashlight.
Yeah. Colin had
And
the phone
so
flashlight.
we kept Ethan and I in the back.
Going back.
We had 2 people facing backwards and 2 people facing forwards, all with lights shining around. So, yeah, we pretty much just tried to keep the machete wherever we thought the cougar would be.
Most likely we're the cougar.
Most likely. We had no idea.
this was around like 10-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we like kept moving back, kept seeing eyes, and kept hearing rustling
Yeah,
of
we
branches.
were hearing shit.
And it wasn't just like the wind. Like,
yeah, it was like, yeah, it was bad.
yeah.
We saw like eyes continually as
Yeah,
we went down.
the entire way. And we encountered it about a mile into the trail. And so we were like, we walked backwards an entire mile down and we saw the eyes probably like 3 more times. The last time we saw it, I mean, like we backed down for a while. He ate it and fell rolled down the hill into a bush when we thought we saw the cougar. That was good timing. But yeah, we just had to like backtrack down the entire thing.
Last scene, right as we got into our car.
Yeah.
They got in
swear
their
to
car, or we were getting into the cars and we saw it up on the hill.
Yep. That's right.
So we had them jump in the car, back up, shine the high beams on the hill, and he and I had to book it to my car, and then get in there, and then we all spent the last hour and a half trying to process what just happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're alive.
And we all handled it so differently because because only McKay and Kellen saw like the body, right? So the entire time, like
My shoulders are still
like,
tense.
I
Oh,
was,
mine are.
I was freaked out in a different way. Like my brain was like in denial. Like I couldn't even process it. Whereas like Kellen like had direct panic. I saw panic in his eyes after he saw the cougar. And McKay really took initiative. And Ethan honestly was pretty silent the entire time, but he had the hardest job. Like let's
We
not
just had
forget
him
that.
walking backwards.
He was
The
walking.
walk back was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because between walking back and actually getting there, there was a point where, I don't know which one of you, but when he freaked out, I have never felt that much adrenaline in my life. I like, my hairs of like my toes stood up. Like, I don't know the way to describe it. Like, it was such a feeling, and it was just, I was shaking. Seriously.
We all were.
Yeah.
We're all like,
We kept seeing things. We saw a star. Had
And
a
I-
panic attack.
Oh my
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
that was another big thing.
fucked.
He and I saw-
Since we lost track of it, we actually since it was dark and there were actually stars out, the stars would peer through the trees and they would look like eyes. And it was since we were all on edge, we were going to any sign that there would have been like that there were eyes or anything like that, because at any moment this thing could have flanked one of us and
Dropped us.
dropped us.
and I guess we should backtrack to when we made the decision to keep going, since this thing we thought would be scared off. Because I was like banging the machete against the trees, trying to like scare this thing off, and so we kept moving. We moved across and like lost track of the eyes, and I showed my flashlight on this big like black object. And so we all were like debating if that was it and it was actually a black bear, or like if this thing was just somewhere else. And then we caught the eyes above it, or next to it. All we could see was like the color of the grass because this thing was crouched down staring at us.
It was smart.
Yeah, it was smart.
And it knew. I mean, it never lost sight of us,
Yeah.
which is the creepy thing. It's like it knew where we were the entire time.
Well, that was terrifying. And
We all have manginas.
yeah, no, my balls are in my chest right now. They've
Yeah.
retracted that way. I'll have
Yep.
to fish them out eventually. But that's it.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. We're alive.
We're alive.
We're alive.
Until
That's
next
all that
time.
matters.